Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to Talk Amiir. I'm Hannah.
And I'm James. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling really good, actually. A bit tired, but happy to be here with you all.
See what Hannah just did there? She talked about her feelings in a really natural way. And that's exactly what we're going to help you with today.
Yes, in this lesson, you're going to learn how to express your emotions and feelings in English, just like native speakers do. We'll teach you useful phrases, natural expressions, and we'll show you how to have real conversations about how you feel.
So if you're ready to sound more natural and confident when talking about your feelings, stay with us until the end. We've got loads of brilliant examples for you.
And before we start, if you're new here, welcome. We're Hannah and James, and we're here to help you speak English naturally and confidently.
So please hit that like button, subscribe to Talk Amir, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss our lessons.
Right. Shall we start?
Let's do it.
So, James, how are you feeling today? And I want a proper answer, not just fine.
Okay. Well, honestly, I'm feeling a bit stressed because I've got quite a lot of work to do this week. But at the same time, I'm excited about the weekend.
That's a really honest answer. And you used two feelings there, stressed and excited. That's good, because we don't usually feel just one thing, do we?
No, exactly. We often feel a mix of emotions, and that's totally normal.
So, today we're going to teach you how to talk about your feelings in different situations. Whether you're happy, sad, worried, or even confused, we'll give you the words and phrases you need.
And the good news is you don't need complicated grammar or fancy vocabulary. You just need simple, everyday expressions that British people use all the time.
Exactly. And we're going to break it down step by step so it's easy for you to follow and remember. Let's start with the basics. James, what are some simple feelings everyone should know?
Good question. So the most common ones are happy, sad, angry, tired, excited, and worried.
Perfect. Those are the foundations. But here's the thing. Native speakers don't always say, I'm happy or I'm sad. We usually add a bit more detail.
Exactly. For example, instead of saying, I'm happy, you might say, I'm really happy, or I'm so happy.
Or you could say, I'm feeling great today, or I'm in a good mood. That sounds much more natural.
In a good mood, that's a really useful phrase. It means you're feeling happy and positive. For example, I'm in a good mood because it's Friday.
And the opposite is in a bad mood. So you could say, sorry, I'm in a bad mood today. I didn't sleep well.
Nice example. So listeners, try to use these phrases instead of just saying happy or sad. It makes you sound much more fluent.
And you know what? British people love to talk about being tired. It's like our favorite topic.
That's so true. We say things like, I'm knackered, or I'm shattered, or I'm exhausted.
Knackered and shattered, those are very British, informal words that mean extremely tired. For example, I went to the gym this morning and now I'm absolutely knackered.
Perfect example. You'll hear those words all the time in the UK.
Now, let's talk about how to show how strong your feeling is, because sometimes you're a little bit tired and sometimes you're extremely tired, right? Absolutely. And we have some brilliant words for this. You can use words like a bit, quite, really, very, extremely, and absolutely. So let me give you some examples. If I say I'm a bit tired, it means I'm only a little tired. Not too bad.
But if you say, I'm really tired or I'm extremely tired, that means you're very, very tired. You need to rest.
Exactly. And we also use the word absolutely with strong feelings. For example, I'm absolutely exhausted. That means you're completely tired. You can't do anything else.
Exhausted, that's a good word. It means extremely tired. For example, after running a marathon, I felt absolutely exhausted.
Another strong word is thrilled. It means extremely happy or excited, like I'm thrilled about my new job.
Lovely. So remember, using these intensity words makes your English sound much more natural and expressive.
And here's a little tip. British people often say quite to mean very. So, I'm quite tired actually means I'm very tired, not just a little tired.
Good point. That can be confusing for learners, but it's important to know.
Okay, now let's talk about the more difficult feelings, the negative ones, because it's important to express when you're not feeling great.
Yes, definitely. So if you're feeling sad, you could say, I'm feeling a bit down today. That's a really common British phrase.
Feeling down. Yes, that's perfect. It means you're sad or unhappy, but in a gentle way. For example, I've been feeling a bit down lately.
And if you're worried about something, you can say, I'm worried about, or I'm a bit anxious about.
Anxious, that's a good word. It means you're nervous or worried about something. For example, I'm anxious about my exam tomorrow.
Or you could say, I'm stressed out. That means you have too many things to do and you feel pressure. Like, I'm really stressed out at work right now.
Another useful one is I'm fed up. That means you're annoyed or tired of something. For example, I'm fed up with this cold weather.
Very British. Yes, fed up is very common here. You'll hear it all the time.
And if something is making you angry, you can say, I'm annoyed, I'm frustrated, or if it's really serious, I'm furious.
Furious. That means extremely angry. For example, I was furious when someone cancelled our plans at the last minute.
Good example. And you can also say, I'm upset. That means you're sad and disappointed about something. Like, I'm upset that I didn't get the promotion.
These are all really useful for expressing negative feelings in a clear, natural way.
Right. Let's balance it out with some positive feelings. James, what can you say when you're feeling really good?
Okay, so you can say, I'm feeling great, I'm on top of the world, or I'm over the moon.
Over the moon. I love that expression. It means extremely happy. For example, I'm over the moon about my new flat.
And on top of the world means you feel amazing, like everything is going well. For example, I got a promotion, so I'm on top of the world right now.
Beautiful. And if you're excited about something, you can say, I'm really looking forward to. For example, I'm really looking forward to the weekend.
Or I can't wait for, like I can't wait for my holiday.
Yes, that's so natural. British people say that all the time.
And if you're feeling energetic and positive, you can say, I'm feeling energized, or I'm in high spirits.
In high spirits. That's a lovely phrase. It means you're cheerful and optimistic. For example, everyone was in high spirits at the party. Another one is, I'm chuffed. That's a very British informal word that means pleased or happy about something.
Oh, yes, I'm chuffed to bits. That means extremely happy. For example, I'm chuffed to bits that I passed my driving test.
Love that. These expressions will make you sound really natural and British.
Now, here's something important. Sometimes we feel more than one emotion at the same time, and that's completely normal.
Yes, exactly. You might feel excited and nervous at the same time, or happy and sad.
So how do you express that in English? Well, you can use phrases like, I'm a bit, followed by two different feelings.
For example, I'm excited but also a bit nervous about starting my new job.
Perfect. Or you could say, I'm happy for you, but I'm also sad that you're leaving.
That's a really natural way to express mixed emotions. You're being honest about how complex your feelings are.
Another useful phrase is, I have mixed feelings about. For example, I have mixed feelings about moving to a new city.
Mixed feelings. That's such a common expression. It means you have both positive and negative feelings about something.
And you can also say, I'm torn. That means you can't decide between two things because both have good and bad points.
Like, I'm torn between staying in my current job and taking a new opportunity.
Exactly. These phrases help you express the complexity of your emotions, which makes your English sound much more sophisticated.
Now, it's also important to know how to ask other people about their feelings, because conversations are two-way, right?
Exactly. So the simplest question is, how are you feeling? But you can also say, are you okay? Or is everything all right?
And if someone looks sad or upset, you can say, "You seem a bit quiet today. Are you okay?"
You seem, that's a really useful phrase. You can say, you seem tired, you seem happy, you seem worried.
And if you want to be more caring, you can say, "Is something bothering you?" Or, "Do you want to talk about it?"
Those are lovely, gentle ways to check in on someone. Very natural and kind.
You can also say, "What's wrong?" Or, "What's the matter?" if someone seems upset.
Yes, but be careful with your tone. You want to sound caring, not aggressive. So say it gently. What's wrong? You seem upset.
Good point. Tone is so important when you're talking about feelings.
And if someone tells you about their feelings, you can respond with phrases like, I'm sorry to hear that, if it's something negative, or that's wonderful, if it's something positive.
Or you can say, "I understand how you feel," or "That must be difficult for you."
These responses show empathy and make the other person feel heard and supported.
Let's look at some specific situations where you might need to talk about your feelings.
Good idea. So imagine you're at work and your boss asks you to do something difficult. You might feel overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. That's a great word. It means you feel like you have too much to do and you can't cope. For example, "I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with all these projects."
And if you're in a social situation and you feel uncomfortable, you can say, I'm feeling a bit awkward, or I feel out of place.
Out of place means you don't feel like you belong in that situation. Like, "I felt out of place at the fancy dinner party."
Or if you're meeting someone new and you feel shy, you can say, I'm feeling a bit nervous, or I'm a bit shy.
And if something unexpected happens, you might feel shocked or surprised. Shocked means extremely surprised, usually in a negative way. Like, "I was shocked when I heard the news."
Whereas surprised can be positive or negative. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed the film.
These situation-specific phrases will really help you express yourself clearly in different contexts. Now, here's an interesting point. Sometimes we describe how feelings affect our bodies.
Oh, that's a good one. So, for example, if you're nervous, you might say, I've got butterflies in my stomach.
Butterflies in my stomach? That's a lovely expression. It means you feel nervous or excited and your stomach feels a bit strange. Like, "I always get butterflies in my stomach before a presentation."
And if you're worried, you might say, my heart is racing, or I feel sick to my stomach.
If you're really stressed, you can say, "I've got a headache," or "My shoulders are tense."
These physical descriptions make your feelings more vivid and real for the listener.
And if you're relaxed and happy, you might say, "I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders."
That means you feel relieved because a problem or worry has gone away. Like, when I finished my exams, I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders.
Beautiful. These expressions add so much color to your English. All right, we've covered so much today. Let's do a quick vocabulary recap. James, can you go through the key words and phrases we've learned?
Sure. So first we had in a good mood and in a bad mood. That's how you describe your general feeling.
Then we learned feeling down, which means sad, and fed up, which means annoyed or tired of something.
We also learned anxious, which means worried or nervous, and stressed out, which means under a lot of pressure.
And for positive feelings, we learned over the moon, which means extremely happy, and on top of the world, which means you feel amazing.
Don't forget exhausted and knackered, Both mean extremely tired. Knackered is very British and informal.
We also learned thrilled, which means very excited, and chuffed, which is a British word for pleased or happy.
For negative feelings, we had overwhelmed, which means you have too much to handle, and furious, which means extremely angry.
And we learned some lovely expressions like butterflies in my stomach, mixed feelings, and a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
We also covered how to ask about other people's feelings. Are you okay? You seem... Is something bothering you?
Brilliant. And remember, you can use words like a bit, quite, really, very, and absolutely to show how strong your feeling is.
Perfect summary, Hannah.
Now, let's put it all together with some practice examples. I'll describe a situation, and James will tell us how he'd express his feelings.
Okay, I'm ready.
Right. Situation 1. You just found out you got a new job that you really wanted.
Oh, brilliant. I'd say I'm over the moon. I can't believe I got the job. I'm feeling on top of the world right now.
Perfect. Situation 2. You have to give a big presentation tomorrow and you're worried about it.
I'd say I'm feeling quite anxious about the presentation tomorrow. I've got butterflies in my stomach and I'm a bit stressed out.
Lovely. And situation 3. Your friend canceled plans at the last minute for the 3rd time.
Right. Honestly, I'm a bit fed up. I'm frustrated that this keeps happening and I'm disappointed.
Excellent examples. See how natural and clear those sound? That's what we want you to aim for. And remember, you don't need to use all these words in one sentence. Keep it simple and natural. So, to summarize today's lesson, talking about your feelings in English doesn't have to be difficult. You just need simple, natural phrases like the ones we've taught you today.
Start by using basic feelings, then add intensity words to show how strong your emotion is. And don't forget those lovely British expressions like over the moon, feeling down, and knackered.
Remember that it's okay to have mixed feelings, and it's important to be able to express them. Use phrases like, I'm excited, but also nervous, or I have mixed feelings about this.
And when someone asks how you're feeling, don't just say, fine. Give a proper answer. It makes conversations much more interesting and meaningful.
Also, don't forget to ask other people about their feelings. Use phrases like, are you okay? Or, you seem a bit quiet today.
And remember, it's okay to share your feelings. It's part of being human, and it helps you connect with other people.
The more you practice these phrases, the more natural they'll become. So try to use them in your daily conversations.
Right, now it's your turn. We have a question of the day for you.
We want you to tell us, how are you feeling today? And use one of the phrases we've taught you today.
So, for example, you could write, I'm feeling great today because it's sunny, or I'm a bit tired, but I'm happy.
Or maybe, I'm excited because I'm learning new English phrases. Or, I'm feeling a bit stressed, but I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Go ahead and write your answer in the comments. We read every single one, and we'd love to hear from you.
And try to use at least one of the new phrases we've taught you today. It's great practice.
Thank you so much for watching today's lesson. We really hope you found it useful.
Remember, the more you practice talking about your feelings, the more natural it will become. So try using these phrases in real conversations.
And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Talk Amiir for more natural English lessons.
We post new videos every week to help you speak English confidently and naturally, so make sure you hit that bell icon.
We'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, take care of yourselves.
And keep practicing.
Remember, it's okay to talk about your feelings. It makes you human, and it makes your English sound more natural.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
Bye.